using a new vibe coding AI agent I created. This AI agent can create games for our beloved Commodore 64 and can integrate with a physical C64, even the original ones. But you can also use it with the newly released Commodore 64 Ultimate. Since this is a vibe coding assistant, all you need to do is to tell the AI what kind of game you want to create, and it will implement it for you using BASIC version 2. Let's see how it works. In this example, I asked it to recreate the classic Snake game for the C64. As you can see on the right-hand side tasks list, it starts the implementation by creating the detailed design. This game design contains the game mechanics, how the player is interacting with the game, and some additional details relevant to the specific game you would like to create. Once the design is created, it will start implementing the code for the game in BASIC. It creates a full source code based on the game design. After the code is created, it is performing a so-called syntax check, which ensures that the game that the AI created is a valid source code for the Commodore 64. If it finds errors, it will fix them. Finally, you are presented with options on running the game. If a physical Commodore 64 is connected via USB, and you are hosting this tool locally on your own computer, then you can run the game directly on an actual machine. Here you have two options. For the original C64, you can use a cartridge called Kung Fu Flash, which you can also use for running C64 games without having to use a floppy disk drive. If you have a modern C64, for example the recently released Commodore 64 Ultimate, you can also use it if it's connected to the local network. Now you can see the game the AI created running on an original Commodore 64. Not too bad for a first attempt, but let's see if we can improve the original game by providing more instructions. Let's try first with something simple, that the snake should be chasing multiple hearts. The AI is at work again, breaking down the task to multiple steps. It adjusts the game plan, modifies the original source code, and asks us if we want to run the game. It nailed our task perfectly, albeit it was a pretty simple one. As you can see, I can also play the game on the machine. Let's continue to iterate over the game. Ask the AI to add obstacles and translate the game to Spanish. The agent starts implementing what we asked it to do. The game is now in Spanish, and the snake has obstacles to avoid. Now let's ask for some music that would use the legendary SID chip of the C64. Not bad. It did create some sort of music, but it's a bit underwhelming. But we can try to fix that. So we can ask the AI to do a more complex music. And while we are at it, ask it to make the screen flash when the snake hits a wall. The final request is to add a splash screen for the game and translate it to my language, Hungarian. It nailed this task too. We got a splash screen, and the game is now in Hungarian. Let me quickly show you how the emulator option works. It makes use of the awesome C64 online emulator by Toth Christian. So when you click the emulator button, it will open a pop-up window with the emulator and start the created game on it right away. Alternatively, you can also download the program files and run them in another emulator like Vice. In the next demo, I will show you a few troubleshooting examples when the AI agent doesn't do what we want or when it creates a game that does not work. For this, let's ask the AI to create a seemingly straightforward animation for the name of this tool, Vibe C64. This text should bounce around the screen. It's doing its usual thing, creating a design, generating the basic source code, checking it for errors, and letting us start the program. This first task it accomplished nicely. But let's make it a bit more complicated. Ask it to create bigger letters, using so-called image sprites. Creating sprites in C64 BASIC is a relatively advanced technique, especially for a text-based AI model, which cannot see as humans do. As you can see, I have uploaded a screenshot from the first program it created. Based on the AI's response, it seems it knows about C64 sprites pretty well. But did it create them perfectly? Well, not quite. It created a strange graphics glitch, and also the text, especially the letter V, is wrong. Now let's tell the AI to fix this. But instead of providing a detailed error description, let's just upload a screenshot this time, and see whether it understands the issue. It does. It recognizes the garbage characters, and also recognizes that some letters are a bit off. Could it fix the issue? Well, kind of. It fixed the graphics glitch, but the letter V is still off. So ask it to fix the V, and provide the screenshot for better understanding of the issue. It agrees that the letter V is not correct, so it is now attempting to fix it again. Did it work this time? Alas, it did not. It created a programming error, as you can see here. Once again, we upload the error message and hope that it will work now. Loading the sprites into memory takes some time. But yes, it does work now. We have a pretty nice Vibe C64 text, drawn using sprites, bouncing around the screen. What you see now, I think, is even more exciting. Now we will let the AI agent test the game it created on a physical machine. This is realized using an external Arduino microcontroller-based device I created that connects to the keyboard port of the C64 motherboard. Using this device, the agent can send keystrokes to the Commodore. The other component of this is that the agent can access a webcam that is directed on the monitor. So after each command the AI sends to the C64, it receives what is currently visible on the screen and will make its next move based on whether it was successful or not. As you can see, the AI agent is switching between taking a screenshot of the screen and sending keystrokes. For example, the commands this adventure game accepts, like Go South or Pick-Vic-2. I haven't mentioned at the start of this demo, but the first step what the AI does is that it analyzes the created game via its source code, and tries to understand the game mechanics and controls up front. The full source of the tool is available on GitHub. The README of the repository explains how AI Agent works. The README also contains a detailed description about the AI Agent implementation in Python, in case you are into that kind of stuff. As you can see here in the README, hardware integration currently is only available when you clone the repository and deploy it locally on your machine. The structure of the repository is described here, as well as a high-level overview on what each file does. There's also a flowchart that shows the default execution path of the agent. Under the hood, the AI agent is presented with a couple of examples for various C64 BASIC games. This shows the AI the proper syntax and source code design, though the advanced AI models are quite capable of creating working BASIC code for the C64. Here you can find a description on how you can get the necessary API keys to use the tool either locally on your machine or the web browser-based version. As you might have noticed the sticker, the tool is currently in beta, meaning that there can be rough edges, and you might encounter errors while using it. Please let me know about these errors either here on YouTube or on the GitHub issue page. Have fun using the C64 vibe coding AI agent, Vibe C64. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Bye for now.